All right, yes, another Monday morning. And of course, this time of the day, it's time for the Citizens Forum on Daybreak Show, Rock City 101.9 FM, here in the city of Abeokuta. Yes, this morning, call for restructuring of the country, whatever interpretation you want to give to it, at least for now, you have your own position to be kept, whether it is right or wrong, whether it is the proper solution for the myriad of problems this country is facing is a different thing. However, it appears that this call, as it grows, governments are, should we say, unknowingly or deliberately or tactically responding to all these calls. For instance, the Northwest region has a forum for their governors and governments where they meet and fashion out developmental programs for their area. The Northeast also have it. So also is the South and Southwest. Yes, so it's no longer surprising to know that the Southwest Nigeria also has what they call development agenda for Southwest Nigeria. This morning, the governors from the 6 states that made up that region will be in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, on a team they called Economic Self-Reliance for the Southwest Nigeria. Whatever this means, well, this is what we'll be looking at this morning. We'll call on some people who knows about it, and of course, we'll also be at the ground, the venue of that event, to give you on-the-spot report, interviews, and assessment of the situation there. Dele Ayodo is my name. Toby Joseph and Taiwo Fabajo will join me from our outside broadcasting network to also give us their own input, reports, and all you have to know as it is happening at the venue of what they call DON, Development Agenda for Western Nigeria Conference, holding in Abeokuta. Let's take this short music break and I will be back. Show Rock City 101.9 FM Citizen Forum this morning. We will be doing it with the governors of the Southwest Nigeria who are here in the state capital, and the theme of the meeting, perhaps a tactical formation of the restructuring process for the country. What they will be looking at this morning is said to be economic self-determination for the Southwest Nigeria. Again, economic self-determination for the Southwest Nigeria. And what really does this mean? How do you think we can achieve this? Is this really feasible, considering the political terrain, the different partisan politicking that we have in this country, and of course the different potentials that each state, not to talk of the regions now, have now come to realize. Imagine Ogun State government moved its idea from 700 million to close to 9 billion, and it started getting 11, not to talk of a state like Lagos. Do you think those states will want to grow with a state whose IGR today still remains 400, 500 million? Is it not a case of somebody feeding fat on the other? Well, these are just non-issues, at least for now. We have online somebody who should be able to give us his own idea of what that means. Experienced lecturer, professor, consultant to the World Bank, FAO, that's the Food Agricultural Organization and arm of the United Nations. Professor Bola Okuneye, you are welcome to the Daybreak Show.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, Prof.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. How are you,
we are good here. Prof, the Southwest governors are meeting in Ogun State. Any moment from now, the meeting will start. And the theme of the meeting is economic self-determination. Again, economic self-determination for the Southwest region. When you hear this, how do you want to interpret this?
Really, it's a feasible project in terms of getting together the various resources, then almost jointly or at least collaborating with one another with a view towards improving the manpower That's technical know-how, improving the gross domestic product, improving the income and the social factors of the people in this region. What it also is that how can we integrate all the various areas of comparative advantages that we have? There are some areas that are good in terms of agricultural products. There are some areas that are good in terms of minerals. There are some areas that are good in terms of even knowledge, which is key to development. The Bible says that people suffer because of lack of knowledge. So if you can now put together the knowledge of people, you can then use the resources efficiently and effectively to favor the people and improve the standard of living of the people. So it means that each state will have to forget about their being a separate entity, but bearing in mind that they need to contribute. So if you like, Commonwealth for the Western region, for the Western zone, for the development of this region. And that means a development in a particular state can also affect or assist or facilitate the development of another area and vice versa. So I see it as a simple project, provided the people are carried along, the private sector is involved, and the government is only the driver. Because you know that political issues, they are more or less time bound. Projects by government, they are party specific. But if you anchor it on the people, on the private sector, these are the people that should really implement. But the government should be the driver in terms of giving incentive, in terms of social and physical infrastructure that will assist them in achieving the goal.
Yeah, Professor Okuneye, without sounding like a pessimist, skeptics will come out with some reasons to say this is mere jamboree. For instance, they've been quick to give the example of the Ladoke Akintola University, jointly owned by Oyo and Osun State, which they have not been able to manage. They have also been quick to also talk of the old Odua Investment Company, owned by the then Western region. Odua, they've not been able to move it, introduce any new thing into that group aside from the ones we've had during the era of Western region. An attempt to create Odua Net, a telecultural network, failed, and some other things. The ones that we still have are the ones that have been there. So people have said, considering if you look at the political differences, the dreams and vision of each drivers of this project, the governors, that this may not work, no matter how good it sounds or look like.
Well, in as much as I sympathize with that your view, I said the other time that it has to be private sector oriented. Odua investment is not private sector oriented. Odua investment is like sharing the aid, which our late highly respected sage, Chief Bola and co. put in place. So they are then saying, okay, appoint a chairman, appoint these, and they are then rotating the various positions among the states. But if we involve, say, Nasima, and we have Western Nasima or Yoruba Nasima, whatever they call it, if we involve the grassroots, it will not just be a jamboree, but it will really be an effective project which can stand the tide of time. But if it's just a governor dictating all the various things that they need to do, then it will fall sweep as what you have just said. And that's why I'm saying that the government should really be a driver, and the people should really be the main actors in terms of the private sector, in terms of the companies, in terms of the various associations, in terms of the rules, and explaining to various areas where they want to encourage projects to come to say that this will benefit them. And that means consultations become very, very, very important, so that the people will know that these projects are theirs and it's for their own improvement. So if the government is only a driver, then they can handle the issue of transportation, they can handle the issue of their political differences by saying that, oh, these are the projects that we assist your people, the Nasiba group or whatever other organization will be able to now handle these projects and see it as their own. Of course, if you look at the various economic projects in developing countries, the main problems are infrastructures as well as government incentives that are lacking. So if government incentives are there and infrastructures are there, then it will find a great route in achieving the goal that they have in mind.
Okay, Prof, you talked about transportation, and then we look at the infrastructure we have. As it is right now, not much can be achieved in any economic development without having to move around goods and human beings, like you said. Today, we have the transport network that link these states classified as federal roads. The airspace are federal space. The rail itself is a federal project. And then we have to move around within ourselves. So how can they break this down?
Well, in the first place, I think the rail system can be done within the state, and the other state can then link up with that one. I don't say that it's purely it's purely federal dominated. Two, the various senators and House of Rep members who come from this area who also agitate for some support from the federal level. After all, the various projects, even at the federal level, normally go to the various the two houses, the two national houses, in terms of Senate and in terms of House of Rep. And so these linkages will not just stop within the various states alone, but we also linger to those people that are at the federal level to support their own. Well, I'm aware that the Northwest is also planning to do that. The South is also planning to do that. And so whatever projects that can therefore come up could support those that will originate from the 6 states in order to achieve this. Two, there are some projects that little or no federal involvement is involved. And that's where we should really have about 60-70% concentration on. But the remaining 30-40% could be hand on the participation from the federal level. The issue of the Lagos-Ibadan express road is key. And I could see that the federal government is trying its best towards this. And all what they need to do is just to link up with such federal roads. Any area that federal roads are weakened or federal projects are weakened, I'm aware that there are some projects that have been done by some states, and the federal government had paid them back. And they can then continually impress on them to assist them.
No.
This issue of corporatization should not really be left untouched. It is very, very essential. You will see that cocoa is really grown in Ondo, in Osun areas. We have a timber in Ogun State and in Ondo, as well as some parts of Oyo State. So these various resources really need to be somehow amalgamated and be made to be really viable projects. And this will touch the lives of the people. And that is what the various governments really aim at, touching the lives of the people.
All right, touching the life of the people economically through self-determination, they've said. Let's look at agric produce, which basically was the mainstay of this region in those days. However, things have changed. A lot more of this produce are produced in what is called local production meant for consumption. How do you think these governments can work together then to now turn this into money spinning, money making industry for the region?
Well, the first thing is to carry out survey of resources of this area so that we know where our comparative advantage lies in each of these areas. I understand rice is also popular in Ekiti, just as it's very popular in Ogun State. There are some other commodities too that are popular in some other areas. And if we now fine-tune in terms of having done the survey of state resources, gotten where comparative advantage lie, we will then move towards making it to be a really competitive advantage in their production and value addition. If we don't develop various grassroots, I don't want to call them peasant farmers, small, micro and small scale farmers, then we will continue to be importing food. And the quantity of food is so high now that it's really affecting us, apart from the employment generation aspect of it. And so I will perceive that what the various governments really do is to ensure that, they have the various data on table. And we are so privileged that we have so many research institutes and universities in this part of the country. Perhaps we have about 30% in this part of the country. We can say that in Nigeria. And so they should really tap on the expertise and the resources that we have. It's after getting the various resources, you can then say, okay, what are the projects that can come up here? And now try to carry out a feasibility study of this. It's not just to be done like we are within a twinkle of an eye. No, it has to be in a progressive manner that people will say, oh yes, you have laid your foundation very well, and therefore we are moving forward. And furthermore, even the international organizations can also assist by the time they see that, this work has been done properly in terms of survey of state resources, the resources are there, the projects that can use these resources are there, the people, the expertise, the various linkages can then be established. Even with the United Nations Development Program, with the World Bank, with FAO, with so many organizations that have been interested. What these international organizations are interested in, and with due respect, the listening I have with them, is that do they have the capacity and the will, the political will to do so? The political will to do so can only be achieved by the time you carry out the private sector and the actual people. And if these have been properly cemented, then you can get assistance from all over the place.
Now, Prof,
yes.
Before I let you go, I want to know what you will have said to this group or this meeting if you were invited to deliver a paper. What will have been your own theme, your own subject matter?
Well, what I will have said will not really be significantly different from what I'm trying to profess now. That let us find out the resources that we have. Of course, some work has been done by Nigerian Institute of Social and Economic Research over the years, but those are still. So we can now bring them up again. Say, okay, these are the resources that we have. This where we have the comparative advantage, and this can be done all within 4, 5, 6 months. And then say, okay, what project can now come up that will benefit the people, that will increase the earning power of the people, that will increase the income of the various government. And that is when that government can then say, okay, they can now do some taxation and those things and get more money for government businesses. So that's one. The second one is establishing a committee that will not really be mainly dominated by the government officials, but by the private sector, by research institutes, by universities that can now advise and come up with a template for improvement. It is when this type of template is now available that we can then say that, okay, X government, you need to assist in this area, this one you need to assist in that area. And two, there's need for some contributions, even though the states are not equal, but for some contributions of money that can be used to drive these various objectives, but more so from the private sector, because at the end of the day, the private sector will be the major beneficiary, and of course the people will also benefit from this. So in a nutshell, we need to have resources, know how the resources can be used and the projects that can come up, know the people that can manage those resources from the private sector point of view, know the involvement of the grassroots people, so that they will see it as their own project rather than government project.
All right, thank you very much.
With various international organizations and even national organizations to achieve the goal of the project.
Thank you very much, Professor Bola Okuneye, for joining Daybreak Show team this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right, you've heard his position. Professor Bola Okuneye, a World Bank consultant to the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, and of course a lecturer. Well, his position is that an economic self-determination for the Southwest Nigeria is possible, provided it is privately driven. Involve private organizations like NASIMA and the Manufacturing Association of Nigeria, and even international private bodies to help us do it. We also need a strong political will from the drivers, the governments and governors who are involved in this to make it work. It's of the belief that the Southwest agri-produce could also be researched into, and then the people of that region will be better for it. I'll take this short music break. Like I said, I'm not alone. Toby will be joining me from the venue of the event. Let's take another break, and hopefully he will be with us. Oh yes, Daybreak Show on Rock City 101.9 FM here in the city of Abeokuta. The economic self-determination, an agenda for the Southwest Nigeria. They call it development agenda for the Western Nigeria going on. All the governors from the 6 states. Remember, Lagos was not part of the then Western region, but Lagos obviously today is part of the Southwest Nigeria. What we had then was Western region, but today it's a meeting of the Southwest Nigeria, which must include Lagos. Toby Joseph and Taiwo Fabajo are there with them. They will give us reports. As I'm awaiting their reports, what is the ground like? The meeting is scheduled to begin by 9, but I know as I speak they have not started. The governors are not there yet, but the venue is cleaned up and ready to receive them. Usually, this group of Nigerians are special people. It is when they arrive at the conference or at any venue that time the event is scheduled clicks. In the meantime, let's get engaged. Yes, we are all, many of us are from the Southwest Nigeria that is being discussed, that is being talked about, and even if you are not, whatever decision taken, whatever action taken is likely to affect every other region or part of Nigeria. So I open the lines for you, my listener, parliamentarians, that what you think about the economic self-determination for the Southwest Nigeria. 08098687344 and 0909-146-9670 for the telephone numbers. Of course, the short code is perfectly working. 32120 is the number to send your message to, but you must type ROCK first. That's what will enable us to receive your message on the short code. ROCK, you leave a space, you now type whatever message you want, include your name, the area in which you are sending it from is equally important, and forward it to 32120. Yes, the Twitter handle is also there for those fast fingers tweeting. It's at Rock City FM, and our Facebook fan page is also there. Okay, I begin to take calls from you. Economic self-determination for the Southwest Nigeria, organized by what is called the Development Agenda for Western Nigeria, an association of governors from that region, from the Southwest region: Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Osun, Ekiti, and Ondo. Okay, do we have somebody there?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Chief Ayodo. I say good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, you have your one and only attention at the I'm calling from Ijako.
Okay. How is the Jacko
Yeah,
considering the
yeah.
rainfall for the weekend? Over
Well,
the
it was,
weekend?
it was interesting. Not it was a continuous light rain, but
Mm.
it was continuous, and well, we all stayed inside.
Okay.
No damage, no nothing. So I'm just
We
saying.
thank God for that. Okay, economic self-determination for the southwest
Yeah, economic
Nigeria.
determination. I think I don't have much to say than to tell them that the time is getting too late for these regions to come together and take decisive action on various projects. In my own recommendation, I can suggest few areas they can embark upon without delay that can yield fruit. Number one is to go into oil and gas exploration jointly. Obtain license to obtain all these catchment area where you have gas deposits or deposits and start in the next 3 years. We see a lot of change. Then go to agricultural, commercial agricultural farm settlement. Like in every state there is at least minimum of 3 farm settlements. And number 3, the southwest to take over all the major highway in the region, from Lokoja to Lagos, from Onisha Bridge to Lagos, from wherever, this is Jeba to Lagos. Each state will also bid and collect, we should develop them, take it away from government, even when they are saying federal government has no money to do Lagos Ibadan Express. Let Ogun or let take it up and
But the issues are these are constitutional issues. The constitution must
they
first
are
be
going to
altered.
amend the constitution. If our representative senators do not do what we call them the way they are doing Obi State now.
That means it's not an
We know the number
immediate
of reps we
solution you
have.
are preferring.
We know the number of senators, what they are doing to below. We should call all of them and say, this is what we want. If they are able to give us all the highway in the southwest where we can put base, sub-base, and take billions of naira from the load, then they are not representing us well. And we have the right
Thank
to
you.
change them.
Thank you.
You don't need to wait for 100 years.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's pick this call. Let's add this one to it. Hello, morning. We have just morning.
Yeah, my name is Olushola Johnson.
All right, thank you.
Yes, very good. And if we can do it and sustain it, but what will be our focal point? Are we going to be an agrarian region, or are we focusing on our textile industries? They are showcased. Kampala and other things. These are things that should be put on the table so that by the time we start, we will improve on it and we will have the quality that can be exported out of our region. Then agriculture should be made the number one priority and government should finance agriculture. Then we should also know how to take control of our resources so that we can mine our resources, produce it, refine it, export it, or export the raw materials from our region. These are the things they are supposed to work on so that we can have a sustainable and very strong viral region. And selfishness should be taken out of it. Politics should be taken out of it because by the time a PDP is there, NPD is there, you see they try to play politics and this will not help the regional corporations. I hope they will work towards this line. Thank you. Good morning.
All right, thank you. Quickly, let me just find. I have two young ones, Chenya and Dokwe. I don't know one if they know any cloth called Sonyon and Ashoka, and if they do, I'm not sure they want to drop it for the tie and shirt and the skirt and the blouse they are wearing. Will you, any of you, or the two of you, will you constantly, regularly wear Sonyon or Ashoka? Will you? Okay, I'm not sure. So, Olusola just. All right, let's try this one. Hello. Okay, you can try again. If you can't get us before we go for the news break, you can call after it. We have less than 5 minutes to do this. Really. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, morning.
I'm Professor Joe. I'm speaking from Okeshukuri.
Thank you, sir.
I really am in support of the meeting of this conference. this part of the country has kept this country one about this part of the country. And the governors now should at least make sure that the western parts of this country should maintain that number one posture. Because during the late Baba Awolowo, when the regional was practiced, in this late stage, make sure that Western region was leading. So the Baba has done his bit, has gone to this. The governors now should forget this and know that this part of the country is really blessed. Let us go back to the agriculture and let us be sincere.
All right, sorry, Prince Ojo. I'm sorry. I will permit you to call back, but let me quickly attend to the team that are there. Let's get what they think in the few minutes that we have left. Hello.
Yeah,
All right, Taiwo. Yes.
yes, I'm actually at the Gateway Annex at Ibara, where the state government holds the Southwest governors quarterly meeting. They always have this quarterly meeting, and they were supposed to have it around April, but because of some issues, they were not able to have the meeting then. And right now, the theme of the meeting actually is they have a meeting. They have a theme I can't actually recall now, but it's expected that the governors from the six southwest
Taiwo,
states.
you need to speak up. Can you?
Yes, yes, yes. Can you hear me very well now?
Better. Yeah, better now.
Okay, so the six Southwest governors are expected to come back here. We are still expecting them. And right now, we have the state governor, Governor Adefuye on the scene now, and the CP, the Commissioner of Police of the state here right now.
Now,
Yes,
are you
everything is set.
sure the governors are in town first? Do you know
Yes,
if we have them in town?
according to reports, I learned that Governor of Ekiti, Ayodele Fayose, slept in Abeokuta last night because of the meeting, and we are still expecting all of them to converge at the Gateway Annex in Abeokuta here.
All right. Well, okay. So, what is the atmosphere there? The venue, is it set? Does it look set for the
Yes,
meeting?
yes, everything is set. The police are on ground. The men of the road safety, all the paramilitary guys are here. They are on ground controlling traffic, trace, FRSC controlling traffic, and the men of the Nigerian police and mobile police are also on ground to ensure that everything goes on smoothly.
Okay. Did you say the governor of Ogun is already in the venue, inside the venue?
Yes, he's already monitoring, checking whether everything has been perfected. He's actually on ground, moving around to check the everywhere that will be used for the program.
All right, we have to take the break for the national news at 10. After that, we'll still have Taiwo Fabajo and Toby Joseph, who are at the venue of the Southwest Development Agenda for Western Region meeting in a couple of immediately after the 10 o'clock news. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for still being there. 13 minutes after the hour of 10. Daybreak Show on Rock City 101.9 FM in the city of Abeokuta. Yes, this is the voice of the people this morning looking at the dawn meeting. That's the development agenda for Western Nigeria meeting holding here in Abeokuta, the state capital, with the theme Economic Self-Determination for the Southwest Nigeria. We've been told it's a quarterly meeting. This is the third in the series, having been held in Ekiti and Oyo states. Our reporter there, Taiwo Fabajo, told us that the Ekiti governor is in town. Ibikunle Amosun, our own governor, is also there at the venue uh, the inspecting situation on ground. Earlier on, we spoke with Professor Bola Okuneye a consultant to the World Bank, consultant to the Food and Agri Organization, an agency of the United Nations, to find out what he thinks about an economic self-determination in the Southwest. Again, remember, unlike the then Western Nigeria or Western region, which Lagos was not a part of it, the current Southwest Nigeria has Lagos as a member. Professor Okuneye opined that it is a good thing, it can work, but the state governments in particular, should play a minor role, just supervisory policy making role, and allow the private sector in particular to drive the program. He also wants them to partner with international and foreign agencies. Well, there's also the need for the constitution to be amended to accommodate this fast growth expected, particularly in areas of things that have been listed as exclusive list of the federal government. That includes, for instance, the road transportation, especially road or transportation will play a key role in whatever economic or developmental agenda within this region. All right. Yes, Toby Joseph is also at the venue. That's where he will be reporting from this morning. As their calls comes in, we will put them through to get what the situation is from the venue. In the meantime, I'll return to you, the parliamentarians. Let's get your thoughts, your own focus, your own dream of what an economic self-determination project in pursuit by the Southwest Nigeria should be. 0809-8687-344 and 0909-146-9670 remains the telephone numbers, and the short code is 32120. You simply have to type ROCK first before you type your message and forward to the number 32120. You can also join us via our Twitter handle at Rock City FM and Facebook fan page. Okay, I'll return to you as I also. Okay, we have the reporters on. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, yes, you are on.
How are you?
Oh, morning.
Good morning.
All right, your name quickly. Sorry, I thought you see that I will to be calling. Your name, please.
Senator Anthony Adefuye.
Oh, good morning, sir. Senator, you were supposed to join us earlier on. This is Rock City 101.9 FM in the city of Abeokuta. We are looking at the meeting about to start here in Abeokuta, the state capital, meeting of the Southwest governors. They have tagged the theme of the meeting as economic self-determination for the Southwest Nigeria. It's good to have you on as a former senator and, of course, a leader of the governing APC. Senator Adefuye, what do you think about this meeting and the team?
It is encouraging to see that our governors are now coming together to plan together so that we can have good roads, good water, good living conditions in the Southwest. I want to thank them for whoever brought the idea, for bringing this idea, and I want to wish them a good deliberation. I hope it will be to the benefit of all the people in the state, so that we can continue to have a good living standard.
Senator, to you, what do you think this thing means? Economic self-determination for Western Nigeria. What does it mean to you?
Well, what it means is that now most states depend on the money coming from the federal, to do whatever they wanted to do. Now, what it means is that we are going to explore
enough funds internally to do whatever we wanted to do. For instance, there are so many minerals in the southwest which we have not explored. We have bitumen, we have gold, we have so many minerals in the southwest which we have not done. And then I think they will come together to put their funds together, establish corporations to be able to do all this together.
Now, Senator Adefuye, some people skeptical about this project have said that the political partisanship and the different dreams, ideas, and goals of the individuals, the governors driving this, will hamper the growth of this project.
No, not necessarily. What they should do first is to have a 25, draw a 25-year plan, commission a lot of architects to plan ahead what we wanted. If we wanted airports, how many airports, where should they be located? If we want a seaport, how many seaports, where should it be located? If we want export corporation, what should be our main export? How can we continue to grow enough food for the people, and so on and so forth. So we should have transportation. We want the rail system to connect the capitals of all the cities in the southwest, and so on and so forth. I think once they draw that plan, whoever comes in must follow those plans. So once they can do that, then the partisanship will not affect it. But the most plan is not what they can just sit down and then be thinking this is what we can do, and so on and so forth. No, there must be an economic plan which will be for 25 years or 50 years, and whoever comes in must follow this plan. And the people will also be the watchdog to ensure that whoever comes in, performs.
All right, thank you very much, Senator Anthony Adefuye, for joining us all the way from Lagos on the Daybreak Show, Rock City 101.9 FM. Thank you, sir.
I wish them good deliberations.
All right, yes, sir. You've heard the voice of Senator Anthony Adefuye wishing the meeting a fruitful deliberation and, of course, advising that they come with a time frame for all this project, a medium, short, long-term development plan. He just mentioned 25 years plan, so that whoever comes in, whichever the political difference or ideas he has, will not obliterate what is on ground. Okay, 08098667344 for those of you who wants to use the telephones. Hello. Hello, morning. Hello, good morning. Can you move away from the radio?
Good morning.
Yes, morning.
Dele,
Morning,
I'm
sir.
Calvi from Adoctor.
Thank you, sir.
Good to have you. Good morning. Economic self-determination pursuit. So you have said, and I've had it since yesterday. In the past, let me quickly say the 2 decades now, since we have this dispensation called democracy, let me say our experience in this southwest, not to talk about the whole country, is somehow looking so bleaky. And then I believe that now if these people could be able to come up and then see how far they can go, because like Bola just said now, they all believe that they must go to Abuja, and at the same time these people claim they only go to Abuja and they can do the necessary things to probably give into the system that are even given to that Abuja resources that are now talking of, that is not even enough for them to probably use. For instance, strangely, let me say this, most of these governors do put up structures that you will really want to think how they have come about such money they are now using to put that particular type of structures in the first instance. You begin to ask questions like why, who owns this and that and that. So many distressing things keep happening even in our own face because we are not ready to ask for accountability. So in the first instance, this economic self-determination, how many of us are ready to ask them for accountability as to how much of those they have taken from Abuja that they have been put in place for our own use. So these people, I don't know how they are going to contribute to this event now that they want to have Southwest pursuit or whatever. I see this as a kind of another waste of time whereby we cannot have any meaningful thing at all. They're just coming to probably see how they can now see another game to be played upon our own intelligence. You see, in this environment.
All right. Thank you, Kade. Let's go. Hello. Hello, Toby. Okay. The drop call, we lost contact. Hopefully, they will also try and call us again. Okay, let's pick your own call. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Yes, Dele.
All right. Toby, yes. Hello, Toby.
Yes, I'm ready at the venue of
Toby, you need to speak up. I can barely hear what you are saying.
Yes, I'm right now at the venue of the development agenda for Western Africa.
Okay, what is the situation as the meeting started? Taiwo told us earlier on that the governor of Ogun State is there inspecting the ground there.
Yes, that information is true, but at the same time, the governors are yet to settle down to officially kick off the meeting. But we have state functionaries here present, top government officials of the state government who are also here. The deputy governor, Chief Mr. Zitidonoriga, is also seated here. The head of service, Mr. Shubambe, is also here. And so many commissioners, almost all of them that I can see right here. But the governors, governor of Ekiti State, governor of Lagos State, governor of Ondo State, and of course governor of Oyo State, and the North governor are yet to be seated. But we have right here the commissioner in charge of this whole initiative and of course this whole meeting here in the state right here with us. Honorable Commissioner, we are on to Roxy FM Live. We would like to tell us what exactly informed this new meeting of Southwest governors in the Ogun State.
Thank you. My name is Basha Bola, the Honorable Commissioner for Regional Integration. As you can see today, that I'm very excited. I know that the group people of Ogun State are also very excited when we begin to talk about the Western Nigeria and the Western and the regional agenda. This administration, as you know, we are very upright. Our intention is to bring back the old days in the areas of education, security. Now you begin to see it national over the state. We want to have a security network whereby whatever, if you commit any crime in Lagos, you are committing the same crime in Ogun. We are going to get to you, and we are going to be sure that you are apprehended and throw away the books. But having said that, it's not limited to just the education or the agri business. We are also talking about infrastructure. We are talking the areas of the roads, the road networks. I think we just the other day, the Lagos state government was thinking, or even planning to move from Ikorodu all the way to Lagos by the expressway. We are looking at the infrastructure. Look at what the road network. You see our highways and everything. The corridor, the Lagos to Express corridor, belongs to the state. Of course, we are claiming it now. We are doing the best we can to get it right, and we are going to get it right.
But Adefuye, can you hear me? Honorable Commissioner.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. But Adefuye, what are the things from the previous two meetings held in Ekiti and Oyo that you think the states have begun to work on practicals now?
Well, thank you for the question. Basically, right now, what the two meetings of Oyo and that you rightly mentioned, we had a little bit of setback because, of course, you know, this agenda was also being driven by the Dawn Commission. And with that in mind, unfortunately, I think in the month of April, we lost a gentleman, the DG of the John Commission, person for from Kiwa, the so rest in privacy. We were looking at that time areas of collaboration. This is to include agriculture, the cocoa from the state, and some other cassava and some other areas that we can lay our hands upon. Also at that time, we are looking at transportation. That is going to be linking between Lagos, Oyo, Ogun, and all the rest of the western states, so that we are going to launch them very soon as I'm talking to you. So we are going to see all of that coming up today. We are also looking at the economic of the whole region and see where we can all collaborate and get the attention from the this meeting. So a lot of good things are going to happen. I think you should be excited. Everybody should be happy. Now that it's coming to the forum. You have a visionary leader. No, this it doesn't matter. Their political affiliation. They are prepared, they are ready, and they are working together and speaking with them.
Okay, Honorable Commissioner, the other question is this. Odua Investment Corporation or Odua Investment Company, Lagos is not part of it. With this new cooperation, are you bringing Lagos into such already established investment?
Again, thank you for the question. Yes, Lagos are very full participants. They are participating fully. Of course, if you remove Lagos from all this equation, I'm afraid they have to drive it, and they are in the driver's seat as I'm speaking to you. Lagos State is represented. Governor Adefuye is going to be here. He's going to participate. Odu as the MD, Mr. Wali Raji is also here. He's supporting the agenda. This Western region, the Western region belongs to all of us. We want this to be a region to be reckoned with. That's exactly what we are getting. Okay. Hello,
yes, Toby.
This is part of that. You are going to
Toby, you need to speak up, please.
Okay, then you can hear me clearly.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Please speak up. Yeah.
Now, I think do you think one of the top agenda of
I can't speak for the governor, but I don't think right now that's what meant for this governors forum, after governors forum, integration, the 6 states that look up to them. Like the honorable commissioner said before, thinking about how we can fight this region, better products in terms of not just infrastructure, how people can have units that unite us, not just and but also look at what using technology, use fertilizers. So we need to think on those technologies. Also talking about our police. The reason why it has so many of the people who are just or who are just so we need to cooperate with each other in terms of technology, in terms of agriculture, across big institutions as well. That's why this government has been today necessary to talk about restructuring.
what sort of things like on that?
Well, like I said, we stand together despite party affiliation because the governors are from let's see what we get. The first of such meeting, I've had these meetings regularly. The intention is to even look at what Lagos is doing. Let's say Lagos is doing something that Ogun can duplicate. Why not? And that's what they want to share now. This is what I'm doing in my state. I can help you in this regard. The richer states are probably going to talk about giving the helping hand to states that are not so fortunate. So, as the United Southwest, that's what this meeting is about. And so far, the government agenda is working for this Southwest. A powerhouse. This is about Babawolowo. It was one state. It was the Western region, Western state. And because moving as a united front. So I don't think it's any different just because they're divided into six states now. And that's what these governors have realized and said they want to speak with one voice and continue to push this region forward.
All right, Basharon Otumba Adenaye. Hello, Honorable Commissioner, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Of course, economic self-determination and things being done at the secretariat must also be propagated within the other six states. We once had the Western Nigeria television, um, which owned and broadcast to all the region. Do you think things like that can emerge from these meetings?
Well, I don't see reason why not. Nothing is possible with technology these days. We have a road, let's say the Lagos Ibadan Expressway. It cuts through about 3 or 4 states that are in this region, even though 80% of it lies within the confines of those states. So we have to look for ways that unite us. Yeah, if it's to have one station that cuts across all 6 states, why not? We all speak, and the majority of the people they speak Yoruba anyway, and everybody understands English. There's also pidgin. So why not? Yes, the WNDC of those days, was a station that was watched across the entire region, even some other neighboring countries in West Africa. So I don't see a reason why that cannot be replicated. Maybe we want to do this in education, have a uniform curriculum for the entire schools in this area, so that whatever my child is reading in the State, the corresponding student on those things is also reading the same thing in mathematics, so that when our children graduate from this region, what level of education to expect. So yes, this is what this forum is about. It's areas of cooperation across board. All right, Dele.
Yes, Toby.
Yes, Dele.
Toby, I can hear you.
Yeah, all right. Now, I want to put on live special advice. Universities appeared and invest overseas affairs. Professor Abad, you're welcome to Rock. And what exactly legacy bring in to the John?
Well, as you know, the state is very critical in terms of the economy of Nigeria as a whole, and especially the economy of southwest of Nigeria. It's a state of 22 million people, $1.2 billion GDP. That is quite massive. And as you know, the state was formally admitted to group last year. So let us bring in a very cloud that brings in a lot of infrastructure development that can benefit all of the southwest of Nigeria.
All right, now, Professor Abad, if you look at the strategic importance of Lagos Ibadan Expressway and the continued force of the federal government to actually complete that long stretch of road, this is not only peculiar to Lagos or the state, of course, a larger percentage of that falls into the state, not only peculiar to the southwest, but also the entire country. And the way that the national assembly have handled the issue of budgetary growth for the completion of that project, and what exactly is the position of the southwest government, especially that of Lagos government, and you can handle something amicably so that the road will be complete.
Well, number one, southwest governors are governors in Nigeria. So there's no question about it. Also, what that is going to get today is deliberation among colleagues, governors themselves. The person is really looking forward to move to the southwest. That's about the whole integration as a whole.
Now, Professor Abbas. Yeah.
Yeah, the governors yes, so I think we have to separate about so
Okay.
we now have the post governor, Senator Bigla working in a counterpart of the state, Arakuri and Kerry. Okay, but they are yet to get seated as yesterday. But in the meantime, I also have here the special advisor to the governor, which is to stick on economic is also very I'm sure the government is over here. But I have right here Honorable Solu as special advisor to the State Governor. Honorable State of course, is a state that is controlled by the PD, a different party from other parties, and of course other state governments in the south. Are you ready to set aside the political differences and put aside all the political victory in the to forge a common front for the southwest country?
Thank you very much. That's a very good question. I'm glad to inform you to let listeners know that the state is ready to lead our political position in the integration of the Southwest state of Nigeria. And to confirm things, this is the first Southwest integration that we can position, and to demonstrate our love that is beyond practice. This is supposed to be a vehicle, to get the authority as well. That's to put that aside, so we can move our region forward. And then we believe it can achieve if we all prepare ourselves as one block. We are ready to do that. And we have started demonstrating that.
Now, I have tried to look at areas where this different are comprised of country. So the state, for example, has land, has October, as a compared to the state as Sava. It's not that actually connected. Lagos State and partnerships sometimes in regions when the former government so entire land was around. Lagos is saying that what would have thought that the Lagos and many others go into this kind of business practice now not only provide for the people of Africa, but also an application of moves and different and even outside of America.
Yes, we are first explaining one of the reasons why we do that. Being able to identify the areas of strength where they have comparative advantages than others. Like in the state, agriculture is one of our main strengths, as well as we are doing very well in the education sector. They are part of that equally blessed of national resources. Because we want to be, I doubt if the top three of them, the whole world, there are some of the things that we think we have in other states, there are areas of collaboration and cooperation, just like what the state is doing in the areas of the right process. So these are some of the things that we are trying to do in this forum. I'm putting together, let's know where your strengths are. Let's know where my strengths are. Now I can use my
Now, Toby, we just have about 10 minutes on the program. Hello, Toby.
you have a great day.
Hello, Toby. Just a question for the Ekiti commissioner.
So,
Is he gone?
Yes,
All right. Okay, we must appreciate you. We just have about 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes really, for the program. We appreciate you. Um,
I can assure you that in less than 15 minutes,
all right, we will have calls to come back to you, but let's come back to the studio and get the messages and a few calls before we end Citizens Forum for this morning. We will obviously join you later on as the meeting progresses. Thank you. All right, can we have the messages? Let's add messages that are there to what we have.
Okay, we'll start with the tweets. We have this one from Yemi Da Vinci. If governors are sincere, they should also look seriously into turning Yoruba land into a service hub for Africa in finance, health, and tourism. Professor Agbola AAA. If truly the governors are businesslike, we should have common focus on agriculture, power, transportation by now. Another jamboree. Then if the governors are sincere, they will start from where Baba Wolowo left off and use the Action Group Manifesto as a starting pad. How many of the governors coming to discuss in Abeokuta have studied Baba Wolowo's plans, his visions and philosophy, and digested them? Then Yemi Da Vinci still, the mess that is occurring in Lautech is a sore on this hope of economic integration as a precursor to political integration. Shame. Then we have this on the messages. The foundation and legacies of Odua conglomerate are there. If only they will consolidate and build on it. But do our present leaders have the needed financial and moral discipline? Oladoshu Ademola is asking that question. Then we have this one from Adewale Shobowale. Is the meeting not another avenue to promote ethnic jingoism? If it's personally against any tribal paparapo, it's an ill wind that will not blow anybody any good. Okay, that was sent in by Adewale Shobowale.
All right. Yes, Toby, Taiwo, I'm sure you are listening. You can find out from these two states. One, Lagos, find out if they are satisfied with the level of cooperation between the two states. The only states that bounds Lagos is Ogun. Lagos does not have any other boundary outside that of Ogun. So find out if they are satisfied. If you are talking of development agenda, find out if they are satisfied with level of economic cooperation within these two states. And for Ekiti, a landlocked state, a different political party ruling it. Transportation obviously is key to development that we are talking about, economic or whatever it is. And for a state like Ekiti that has only the road transport majorly as the means of movement, and all these states, all these roads linking Ekiti, going into Ekiti from Osun, Ondo, and going out to say Kwara are federal roads. How do they intend to resolve or tackle this issue? Okay, we can still have just one call and then check out the messages, and of course it will be it for the day. We appreciate everybody. Let's add your call to it. We have you. Good morning. Yes, sir.
Let me thank the entire management of Rock City for a job well done as usual.
Thank you, sir.
My concern has to do with the crisis of Nadoke Akitola University. Don't you consider this forum a nice one to table the issue and see if the entire crisis can be transferred to federal government? Let federal government take over the running of that university. Number two, are we looking at warehousing? Hello?
You are on.
I'm looking at a situation where there's going to be a warehousing of resources into which states can access in terms of development. Is this type of thing possible? That's my two issues. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you too. Can we add messages to this? If there are any, or we take a call. We have somebody. Let's have you. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, you are on. Yes, morning.
Good morning, Kenny and Dele.
Morning. All right, thank you. In 2 minutes, maximum.
Yes. We pray for things like this. No, the people are saying you should go back to the journalism. No, every state is valuable, but in informal way, regions is very important. Especially, mostly for Southwest, we have Lagos. Lagos said now they want from fifth largest economy in Africa, they want to be the third. So let's tap into that opportunity. The State already tapping into it. And we know, yes, really, yeah, but state like Ekiti or Osun, they need that opportunity of Lagos. If Lagos can form Lake right, steady, there's a charity business at home. Let's also tap into this. It will help us to help Lagos because Lagos has many things to gain. Lagos can buy land in other cities and develop. Then the benchmark for this aspiration, education, agriculture, every state must meet up. This one that's happening in Lautech or they call that university. That should not happen. So they give themselves fixed question that we must meet up with this thing if you want to let us keep this region something to be alive. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. I think that's also part of what they are thinking. We had our own Ogun State Commissioner for Information, talk about having possibly one education curriculum across the states. What is taught here in Ogun State will be the same thing being taught elsewhere across the other region. That's what they are looking at. And what is also one should also be that it may likely be that officially Lagos will be admitted during this meeting into the Odua group of companies, the Odua investment. Lagos may formally be admitted into that group. Okay, let's add messages to this.
Okay, we have this Facebook comment from Olajide John Olawale. It's a welcome development. Hopefully, it will yield a good result. Then for the messages, this is from Cosmos. Dawn and self-determination connotes political and constitutional issues that involve legal framework and referendum by individual states, as well as the charter and agreements passed by the respective states' assemblies. Otherwise, it will remain perfunctory empire of the governor's imagination, and it's coming at a time that the Constitution of Nigeria is on the front burner. Better to work in that perspective to avoid cross purposes. Okay, that's from Cosmos. And lastly, from Oladoshu Ademola, Oyo and Oshun have failed to jointly run a university, Lautech. So what are the hopes? Professor Okuneye has said it all. Let's shun undue political interference and arrogance of power. Oladoshu Ademola sent in that one.
All right, and yes, that's where we will take the break, final break, really, or switch off the gear on the Daybreak Show this morning. We appreciate Professor Bola Okuneye, who joined us on phone, and Senator Anthony Adefuye from Lagos, and of course, the team outside there, Taiwo Fabajo and Toby Joseph, they will still be there. And when there's any news break, be sure that here the voice of the people will say it to you first. I appreciate the team again, and of course, those of you who've called, who've sent in messages, and those who patiently just listen and enjoy the program this morning. Dele Ayodo is my name. I say, God bless you all. God bless Nigeria, and God bless Rock City.